Good morning, everybody. We're about to get started.
Bluetooth device is ready to pair. Bluetooth mode. Paired successfully.
Good morning. We're about to get started. Because the one thing I am not going to tolerate is a bunch of nonsense on TikTok that I'm not even involved in. But may these people have the day they deserve, because now I'm going to say what I got to say. So welcome in, everybody. I got an intro song. As a matter of fact, let me change my green screen. Okay, we're about to get started. Welcome in, everybody.
Something waits
KK, I know.
the shadows, like an army
Welcome
in
in.
the night. Lock the doors and board the windows.
I want Miss Sunshine to come over here. Come on over, Miss Sunshine. Come over, Miss Sunshine.
A storm is coming, that you can rain. The thunder's shaking, and it's gonna break. A storm is coming, that you can't escape.
Welcome in. We're about to get started.
Tears are falling from the darkness. Feel them crash upon your skin. Look for shelter, you won't find it.
Welcome in.
No, a storm is coming, and you can't escape. The tears are falling like blood and rain. The thunder's shaking, and it's gonna break. A storm is coming that you can't escape. No.
All right, we're about to get started, everybody. Oh, it's all right. So, Miss Sunshine, you have a lot to say. Why don't you come over here and let's have a conversation, a civilized conversation at that. So, today's awareness is going to be about TikTok Street Snark and Mallerie. Some things have been developing over on TikTok. Some type of list has been released about a bunch of names, and it's messy. It is, yeah, Mallerie. Mallerie is somebody that used to bring awareness on TikTok, and then decided that she was no longer awareness. Mallerie, let me see. Let me grab a video. A lot of people don't even know who Mallerie is, but she used to bring awareness over on TikTok.
You're about to make yourself look real fucking stupid.
Who? Who said that? Miss Sunshine? Miss Sunshine can't even come over and have a hey Lineker. Yeah, the big bow lady. The big bow lady. She always wears a big bow. So, Miss Sunshine, you won't even come and have a conversation, but since you think I'm going to make myself look stupid, yeah, they call her GoFundMe. Give me 1 second. Let me grab some videos of Miss Mallerie and TikTok Street Snark. See, I haven't talked about Mallerie or TikTok Street Snark, and actually, I really haven't even talked about TikTok Street Snark. So let me grab Miss Bo, because she's done some crazy things on TikTok. All right, let me grab a screenshot of Miss Bo. See, I haven't talked about Mallerie, and it's been a while, but may they have the day they deserve and get the attention that they want, because I'm here for it. Let me grab it. All right. Give me 1 second while I pull this up. May they all have the day they deserve today. Especially TikTok Street Snark. When we talk about this next situation with her. All right. So. Let me do this. Okay, that's Mrs. Mallerie. They call her Bowfund. Some people call her Bowfundme, Mrs. Bow. I don't know. It's because she's always wearing the bow. Look, Mallerie, and I'm going to make this loud and clear. I know she's listening in. She, like I said, she used to bring awareness on TikTok. She got a little taste of money. And see, that's why my gifts are always turned off. My gifts are always turned off for a reason, because she got a little taste of money, you know, getting gifts and stuff of that nature on TikTok, getting some money for us sent to her PayPal for her husband's birthday. Hey, Queen of Blessings. Hey, Pops. Welcome in, Pops. Hopefully you got the notification. Now, I don't involve myself in drama. And the reason I don't, insert myself into any of this, because I don't want to be involved in this nonsense. So a list was released yesterday of names that there's files and folders on. And because the Mexican homie's name was not on that list, there was an uproar.
They have your picture on their screen.
Let them have my picture, like I give two shits. Like I could give two shits if they put my picture up. Let them. They can't even come over here and get in a box. Now, you can put my picture up all you want. I don't give two shits. I'm going to call it for what it is. Over there with Mallerie, TikTok Street Snark. Let me tell you, I'm going to drop some crazy information, and they're not going to like it. This is Mallerie. They call her Mrs. Bow, Miss Bowfundme, whatever it is that people, I call her Mallerie. So after she got a taste of money, after collecting money for her husband's birthday, after having a pill box set up, after all of that nonsense, she no longer wanted to be awareness. Because, see, sometimes people get a taste of money, and that's all it takes. They no longer want to be awareness. They're like, yeah, you know what? I'm not awareness anymore. I don't, I don't want to be a part of the awareness community. It's pretty common sense and it's pretty simple. So, you just can sit over there and say what you want to say. But Miss Mallerie, I will continue to call. Let me grab her folder. Give me a second. Here, hold on. Let me grab her folder. Welcome to this side of TikTok. Let me grab her folder real quick. Think I'm over here messing with people just because my name was not on the list? Because there was a lot, like I said, there was some type of list with that the files and folders and stuff like that. And because my name was not on it, they're bent out of shape. What kind of SHIT is that? So because my name was not on the list of what they're going to be releasing, all of a sudden I'm the bad guy.
Oh, they want to sit there and talk about what's between your legs.
They want to talk about what's between my legs?
Yep.
What? So Mrs. Homie's listening in. Why are they going to sit there and talk about what's between my legs? You got to be kidding me. Is this? I mean, What's going on over there? Hold on. What is going on over there? Let me grab another. Here, while I grab her folder. Hold on. I can't. Give me 1 second. What is going on? Let me run this while I grab her. Here. I don't understand it. I just don't. Talking about what's in between my legs. Let me grab this folder. What in the Sam Hill tarnation is going on?
Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
This
Bluetooth
is wild.
mode.
How are you gonna
Paired successfully.
How is a group of people going to sit there and say, talking about what's in between my legs? I don't even stoop to that level. I don't stoop to that level. Hold on. Let me grab this folder. Let me grab this folder.
Once you pull the trigger, you can't put the bullet back in the gun. Once you light the fuse, you know all that you can do is run.
I'm grabbing a folder.
Cause so many people know your secrets. I know the one that cuts the deepest. You're gonna be broken in pieces when the truth comes out. When the truth comes out, you can run out. Yeah, you know this is just the beginning. Lights crumble down when the truth comes out. Lights crumble down when the truth comes out. You can try to cover up the lies, but I know the truth. Yeah. You can hide in darkness, but the light will find its way through. Yeah. When the truth comes out, when the truth comes out, you can run, but you know it's ending. At the bottom of the grave, you're digging out. When the truth comes out, yeah, you know this is just the beginning. Lights crumble down when the truth comes out. Lights crumble down when the truth comes out. Once you pull the trigger, you can't put the bullet back in the gun. When the truth comes out, when the truth comes out, you can run, but you know it's ending. At the bottom of the grave, you're digging out. When the truth comes out, yeah, you know this is just the beginning. Lights crumble down when the truth comes out.
All right, let's talk about this. So the last time I called out Mallerie was a simple fact, being that, like I said, she got to taste the money, right? You get it? She got to taste the money. I don't want to be awareness, she said no more. I'm no longer awareness. See, when I called her out, it was regarding the PayPal in her bio. because she had a PayPal in her bio. And then what I'm showing you, which you really can't see too well, let me see if I can enhance it. She also had a P.O. box set up, you know, where people could send her things. And she had that in her bio as well. So not only was it that she was being called out for, there was a lot of other factors. And she seems to think that it's okay to have your PayPal in your bio if you're bringing awareness, and it's not. It really isn't. And so she got upset. Hey, Bluegill. She got upset because how did she get a taste for money by getting gifts and subscribers and having a pill box set up and all that being in her bio and trying to bring awareness on people, on beggars, scammers, things of that nature. You know, P3DOs. If you're going to call people out, oh, it's still in her link tree? Her mom's bought her a new couch? For what? Sorry, my dog's in the background just barking up a storm outside. That is wild behavior. If her moderators got together and got her a couch, you know how crazy that is? I'm telling you, this is going to be a never-ending story with Mallerie. See, Mallerie, I didn't talk about you. I didn't mention you. I didn't, you know, I brought my awareness on you and I kept moving. I kept it moving. You came, you got in a box, and you said what you had to say. I'm pretty sure that recording is up on YouTube. And
Did Street Snark not just say she was going to kill Scammy Claus?
oh yeah. We'll get to TikTok Street Snark, because may she have the day she deserves. Because the information we're going to drop on TikTok Street Snark is going to be wild. Now, yeah, Scammy Claus, we're going to address that. We're going to address that. TikTok Street Snark, may you have the day you deserve, and it's going to happen today. Now, Mallerie, let me grab some clips about how Mallerie conducts herself. Oh, no. Let me grab some more. Give me 1 second. So, and I did redact information, as everybody can see. Everybody can see right here. That way nobody thinks that I'm lying. That's her PayPal. That is her PayPal. That's Mallerie right there. All my gifts are always turned off. I keep my gifts turned off. So Mallerie, I'm gonna go check your link tree and see if your PayPal's still in there. You know what? Give me a second. And I don't want to show her personal information. Let me take this down. But this is one of the reasons that I called her out. Here, I got my other phone. Sorry, everybody. I got two phones and two laptops in front of me. So let me check something out real quick. I never turn my gifts off. Most of them I keep them off. But this is one of the reasons I called her out, because that was the time when she was collecting money for her husband's birthday.
Let's go, guys.
Give me 1 second, everybody. And you know what? If people keep adding me into their bunch of nonsense, because I'm not going to be going back and forth with them, but as of today, and let me grab this. I have another phone on a burner account. I know I need to get like 2 more phones. Sorry, everybody. So let me say this. As of today, TikTok Street Snark, I'm going to build up a folder so big on you, it's going to be ridiculous. Mallerie, I'm going to double the size of your folder because, as a matter of fact, I go through my emails and you'll be surprised at what I get. So give me 1 second, everybody. You'll be surprised. I'm going to double the size of your folder, Mallerie. I'm a man of my word. And TikTok Street Snark, welcome to this side of TikTok. See, I told you don't talk about me. I told you, leave me out of your nonsense. Because my name was not added to some files and folders that were released yesterday. All of a sudden, I'm the bad guy.
Oh man, they said we're in it with Calhoun.
So, we're in it with who?
Whoever Calhoun is.
I don't even know who Calhoun. I don't even know who Calhoun is. I don't know who Calhoun is. So let me see. So Mallerie, you have subscribers at $2.69 per subscriber. Okay. No, I don't want to subscribe. I don't care if you give me the 10% discount. So Mallerie, you have... Let me change this picture. That's our PayPal. All right, Miss Mallerie. Yeah, I don't even know who Calhoun is. I don't know who it is. Don't involve me with somebody that I don't even know who that is. Yeah, there's a 10% discount on Mallerie's subscriptions. Let me see what else we got going on here. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second while I grab what I need to grab. See, I'm not going to tolerate the nonsense from these people. They get so bent out of shape that I'm not in files and folders, and that has nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. Oh, Mallerie. What in the Jesus Cristo's going on here? Mallerie. Mallerie. Is that what we're doing now? Mallerie. So now we got a CA up there. And the PayPal. Mallerie, hold on. What are we doing? So we got a CA up there? And we got a PayPal? What are we doing, Mallerie? You know what? I'm putting you... I'm labeling you as a scammer. Now you're going to fall into the category of the scammers that you used to cover. What would? Why? Why? Oh, yeah, I know what the excuse is going to be. I know what the excuse is going to be. Hold on. I'm not even done. What the hell? Hey, Mallerie, is your pillbox still up there? Let me get a screenshot of this. You can't make this shit up. Hold on. You can't make this up. Hold on. What in the Jesus Cristo is going up? Let me send this to my email. I know. Her excuse is going to be like, oh, because my community wanted it up there. My community wanted it up there. That's why my CA is up there and my PayPal. Hold on. Let me email this to myself. Interesting. All right, Mallerie. So, you want to be collecting Cash Apps and PayPals? Is that what we're doing? Oh, let me guess. It's okay because you're no longer awareness. Am I correct? Because you are no longer awareness. But wait a minute. Let me see. But Mallerie, you're still bringing awareness. You are still bringing awareness on TikTok and collecting money because this video was posted on July 28th. You're still bringing awareness and you're collecting money and you have a Cash App and a PayPal and a Pill Box? Nah, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. No. I thought you were not awareness anymore. I thought you were no longer awareness. No, you cannot be. No. Come on. I told you, your folder is about to double up. It's about to double up for you. Because now, not only do you have that PayPal in your bio, you have a Cash App. And you still have your Pill Box there. How are you going to claim to not be awareness, but then people, and I'm going to get the receipts on this. I'm going to get the receipts on this, Mallerie. People are telling me, and I'm going to make sure I get the video, a P.O. box, P.O. box, where people can send you things to your, so if your subscribers or your community wants to send you a gift or anything, they can send it and you can go pick it up. Let's see. Let's listen to what she has to say. She says she's no longer awareness, right?
Got your attention now? All right, here's the thing. I'm a strong proponent of words matching action. And baby girl, right now your words are not matching your action. In fact, I'm pretty sure your words are putting in overtime right now. And your actions are like on vacation in fucking Santorini or something. Because you're out here talking about how scared for your life you are. You're being cyberbullied while broadcasting on TikTok Live, letting everybody know when you're alone.
Mallerie, you're talking about Gabby. You're talking about Gabby and the Drama Twins. So you talk about Gabby and the Drama Twins, Amber, Kevin Cece, Nick Harris, Resilient Jenkins, and a long list of people. I thought you were no longer awareness. I thought that you quit being part of the awareness community. How are you still going to be bringing awareness on anybody and have Cash App, PayPal, and a P.O. box where people could send you things? You see how the math is not mathing for you?
Even
so you lied to everybody, at least to the people that you wanted to get off of your back, and said, you know what, I'm no longer awareness, I'm wiping my hands clean of this, and then all of a sudden, boom. See, I left you alone. I quit talking about you. And come to find out, it was all a farce. Nothing to see here, folks. Yeah, it basically saying, hey, there's nothing to see here, folks. Move along and leave me alone. No, you're still bringing awareness and collecting money. You wouldn't have that Cash App in your bio, and you wouldn't have that PayPal in your link tree or any of that. You just don't put it there to put it there. And like I said, I quit talking about you since the last time I brought awareness about you. And sorry, everybody, there's noise going on in the background, and I don't know what's going on over there. Maybe a tad bit of deflection going on. I don't know what's going on over there, Lindsay. They got upset because my name was not on the list. Hey, Big Happy, good to see you, bro. Everybody's sick and tired of what is transpiring here. And I don't understand why. You know what? This is a double standard with Mallerie. It is. Let me grab some clips. Let me get her off the screen real quick. I told you, Mallory, don't talk about me. I wouldn't talk about you. Last night is when it all started. Last night is when all this started. And I went in there and asked what was going on, where Mallory was at and several other people. Some people muted, and Mallory's attitude completely changed. Now, her supporters and followers could say, that's not what happened, that's not what she said. I'm sorry, not sorry. I heard what I heard. I know what I heard. I'm not a dummy. I told her, don't talk about me, I won't talk about you. Simple as that. But Mallory, no, Mallory had to continue with her shenanigans. Okay, well, say less. And then today they were talking about me and Mrs. Homie again. And then they started talking shit to Mrs. Homie. And they blocked her, by the way, because Mrs. Homie doesn't stand for none of the nonsense. So, if you have something to say, come and say it to me. Why talk shit when we're not around? It makes no sense. I have always said it. If you're going to say something about me, come and join my live stream. Everything's going to be up on YouTube under KK Rissa. They told her they weren't talking about her because someone asked about her on the list. Let me say this. I heard what I heard last night. I heard what I heard. I told people, don't involve me in your nonsense. And all of this could have been all avoided. This could have been all avoided if they would have not been so concerned why I was not on the list of files that were being dropped. I know, Big Happy. It's wild behavior. Let's see what this clip.
Good people own when they fuck up.
Really?
They don't sit there and say, yeah, Rickett, like every person I call out, I've given chances. Virgo doxed people who were sent to...
What happened? Mallory said I'm using her for views. I don't want scammers' views. I have never. You know what I always get is you're doing this for clout. You're using me for views. I don't want a scammer's clout. I don't want a beggar's clout. I don't even want clout at all. So Mallory, don't sit on your platform talking about I'm using you for views because I have many other people to bring awareness about. Last time I checked, your numbers are not what they used to be. Let's continue with this clip because she says some very interesting things. She needs to take her own advice.
Good people own when they fuck up. They don't sit there and say, yeah, Rickett, like every person I call out, I've given chances.
You've given chances. So what are you, like the Pope of TikTok or something? What are you, the TikTok Popo? What? I've given chances. What in... Let's continue.
Virgo doxed people who were sent to her for resources. She's no good. Do you know I sent someone to Virgo for resources one time and they caught her talk. It was funny. The second they decided to go to her, she was in a live running her mouth about them.
See, Mallory has a lot to say about a lot of different people. She needs to turn around and look in the mirror because I'm about to pull even more clips.
That was really my big first experience with Virgo.
Interesting, Mallerie. You're giving verbal warnings and verbal chances. I wonder if you get a written up if you don't abide by your rules. I wonder if people don't abide by your rules that. Interesting. Let's see what's going on here. Huh. So, Mallerie. Hey, Mallerie. Do you have some gift goals set? Do you have some gift goals set, Mallerie? You, at one point, had a gift goal of five ice skating bears worth 4,000 coins apiece. Interesting. So you set gift goals. Is that what we're doing? Now you're setting gift goals. 4,000 coins per ice skating bear. Say less. Say less. Man, does this remind me of the people that we bring awareness about? This really reminds me of the people that we bring awareness about. And I'm glad I'm doing this today. Should have left me alone, Mallerie. TikTok Street Snark, you're coming up next. I'm going to grab clips also on you. Not to worry. Don't worry about it, Mallerie. Let me grab some clips. So, give me 1 second while I run to this. Mallerie, when you were bringing awareness about Emo the Bee, can you explain to me? Give me 1 second. Can you explain to me exactly every time you brought awareness on him, the things that you were saying about him? I would like to know. Because I'm going to pull some clips where you were saying some very interesting things. Not some very nice things. And I'm going to drop those receipts on you. You better believe, when I say I'm going to drop receipts on you, on the next live stream that I have, you better believe I am going to drop some crazy receipts on you. Because the one thing, I'm going to call you out like a scammer and a beggar. I'm going to call you out the way I call out, the way we bring awareness on beggars and scammers. You're going to be getting called out just like that. So expect for your folder to double in size, Mallerie. That's just the way it's going to be. I don't know why. It's kind of puzzling, right? Yeah, I know Mallerie is live. They sure were over there in boxes, and they had a lot to say about me. They sure were over talking about what was in between my legs. What? I don't even know why they were even talking about what's in between my legs, because I don't stoop to that level. I have never stooped to the level of somebody saying, oh, well, let's talk about the Mexican homie and what's between his legs. kind of nonsense is that? But Mallerie, you're gonna get the day that you deserve. And if you want to stoop to that level, well, may you have the day you deserve. Yeah, Big Happy. it the nonsense that happens. The nonsense that happens over there, right? I just can't believe it. Give me 1 second. Let me see what's going on. So this is what they were talking about yesterday, right? Big Happy. This is what brought this all to the forefront. Let me run this clip. Let me run this clip.
Yeah, Skittles wasn't on there.
13 was, though. I know I saw 13.
Yeah, some of it was hard to read because she had the phone half off the screen, and then she had messed up the screen at one point, so it only showed the top half of the screen, but it was down to bottom.
This is what brought all of this to the forefront.
I think this might be the first video.
So they're talking about a list that of files and folders and probably screen recordings and screenshots that's going to be released. And because the Mexican homie was not on there, Mrs. Homie was not on that list, but there was a bunch of other people on there, it became a big deal. So that's where I'm completely confused. So if my name would have been on the list, they would have been happy? Alyssa's Creations, I don't know exactly what, is files and folders. If I would have been on this list of what information that they're going to be releasing, they would have been okay, right? People keep asking what's on the list of names, and it's going to be files and folders. So what they call it is reckless ways. You call me a goofy? Why don't you get your ass out of here, reckless ways? You're a goofy ass. Come in here acting like a goddamn clown. There, now who's the goofy? Yeah, get your goofy ass out of here. You got a one-way ticket to the next goddamn live stream. Go back with Mallerie in there. Get your ass out of here calling me a goofy. And I thought that account right there was disrespecting Mrs. Homie. So I'm going to go back and... Huh? Damn, Mountain View. That's interesting. Look, if you're going to say I was locked up somewhere, get your shit straight. If you're going to be on a live stream talking about I was locked up in Mountain View, I don't even know where the hell that is. Get your shit straight. At least tell people where I was actually incarcerated at. See, you just don't know what research is. Do your goddamn research. What is wrong with yous in Mountain View? God. Let's continue with this clip.
I'm not sure if 13 was on there. But if you go to the B's or to the beginning of it, I'm going to mute and then I'm going to go to my notes and I'll fill in the names that I missed.
You go right to FWA.
Hold on. Somebody said Mountain View and Juvie Hall. Now that is hilarious. So here's my question to them. Here's my question. Who in their group of people? Who in their group of people? Because it seems like, look, I'm about to put them on the forefront and the 4th Street of everything. Who in their group of people works for a government agency that is pulling juvenile records and coming on TikTok? See, I've never been to no Mountain View, whatever they've been talking about. But who in their group of people is working for a government agency and pulling up juvenile records and putting it out on TikTok? You know that is highly illegal, right? You know that is highly illegal. Yous are getting yourself, yous are stepping in some muddy water that yous are not going to be able to get yourself out of. So whoever in your group over there is doing that, yeah, you better be prepared for some consequences, because I'm going to find out who it is. I'm going to find out who's over there pulling people's juvenile records. See, I've never been to no Mountain View, whatever they're talking about. But I want to know, and I'm going to find out. And then I'm going to put their information out there. Watch and see, I'm a man of my word. Let's continue with this clip.
It's Ann Hensley, so I can grab that for her.
And not just that, but instead of using that little arrow right there, use like your finger and start going crossed it back and forth. So like put your, okay.
Let me remind these people that are pulling juvenile records. Like I said, I have nothing to hide. I never been to no Mountain View. But let me remind these people, when they go pull a record, when they go and check out somebody's juvenile record, yeah, Pops, somebody has access, and I'm going to find out who it is. So let me say this. Every time somebody goes and checks something, you have to log in, right? You have a login name, you have a login password. There's a record of when people log into these systems. Not the brightest people out there. Yeah, it's a digital footprint. It's called the digital footprint. No, juvenile records are not public. Whoever said juvenile records are public, you better go back and do some research. They're not available to the public. Come on. That is wild. What are you trying to hide? I've told everybody about my past. My past. What do you mean? I ain't got nothing to hide. Really? Look, I am a 2-time convicted felon. I am a 2-time convicted felon. I went to prison 2 times. I went the first time for distribution. So, and the second time I went for escape from community corrections. Those are my 2 felonies. Those are my 2 felony convictions. How many times do I have to tell people about my felony convictions? We're talking about Mallerie, bowhead, the one with the big bow. So they could run with whatever they want to run with. I put my past out there for people to know. I've always been honest. I've always been honest about my past. So let's continue.
Move that little arrow over. Okay. Now to where you have enough space. You see how slower it goes?
Yeah.
There you go.
Hold on. Hold on. Don't block that account. Don't block that account. Do not block that account. Let me get a screenshot. Hold on. Whatever you do, don't block that account. Okay, I got a screenshot of it. Hold on. Here, let me pin your comment for you. Is it going to let me? Hold on. Ah, who unpinned it? What do you mean I should be deported? Deported where? It won't let me pin it either. It won't let. I think TikTok has flagged it. Oh, let me see. So Mallerie, some information I just received. Mallerie, have you been dragging and messaging somebody in the middle of the night who is terminally ill? Is that what you're doing, Mallerie? You're dragging and messaging somebody who is a cancer patient. Is that what we're doing now? So now you're trying to drag somebody who is essentially, they don't know when it's their time to go. Is that what we're doing? Because they messaged me. Somebody messaged me with that information. How low can you go? How low can you go when you're going after cancer patients? When they don't know when is their time to go. Mallerie is GoFundMe. Here, I'll grab her picture. Is that what we're doing, Mallerie? Just great. Just wonderful. For the ones asking who is Mallerie, this is Mallerie. I'm going to wait for them to send me some clips. Mallerie, if that is what you were doing, a lot of people are not going to like that. That is wild behavior. Don't you ever. Barry. You know what, Barry? Get the hell out of here and go back over there. Barry Strawberry, get out of here. Go back over to where you were at. To the other live stream. You're no longer welcome here. We're over here trying to do the right thing. By calling Mallerie out, Ms. GoFundMe. That's what they call her. I just call her Mallerie. So if you're dragging cancer patients, it's not going to go well for you. Let me continue with my clip, because people were asking who is Mallerie. This is Mallerie. Used to be awareness, decided to back out, but come to find out she's still bringing awareness. And on top of that, has a Cash App in her link tree, a PayPal, and a P.O. box where people can send her things. You should take a step back, Mallerie. Don't be calling nobody out. Do not be calling people out. You have no business calling people out because you have a Cash App and a PayPal and a P.O. box in your link tree. You have no business calling them out. You're just as bad as the beggars and the scammers are. Just as bad. Yeah, she might as well put her bank account number so people could just send directly to her bank account at this point. Everyone else does too. While she shouldn't be bringing awareness. Who makes the rules? You know what? I call it out. I just call it out. And if people don't like it and don't like what I'm talking about, yeah, I'm talking about Mallerie on the screen. Yeah, please direct deposit to her account, please. Oh, is that where that account came from? Snark? From TikTok Snark? Oh, TikTok Snark, you're coming up next. See, don't talk about me, don't mention me, and I'll leave you be. And Joyce? Oh, Joyce is too? Well, moderators, you can send those people. Okay, there you go. Never mind. You get a one-way ticket. I'm like Oprah. You get a one-way ticket out of here. You get a one-way ticket out of here. You get another ticket out of here. Here, send them packing. Just like that. Goodbye. Chucking my deuces up. I'm moving on to something better, better, better. Here, hold on. Let me grab something. Every time I send these people packing and I see somebody is blocked, hold on. Give me 1 second, everybody. Let me grab something real quick. Please bear with me while I grab something. That way I can play it. Okay, every time I give somebody the door, every time we give somebody a VIP ticket out of here, I'm going to play this. Every time.
All that bullshit's for the birds. You ain't nothing but a vulture. Always hoping for the worst, waiting for me to fuck up. You'll regret the day when I find another girl, yeah. They know just what I need, she know just what I mean. When I tell her keep it drama free. Chalking up the yeah. Told you that I'm leaving. I know you're mad, but so what? I wish you best of luck. Now I'm finna throw them deuces up. What you mean I ain't call you? I hit you when I landed. I'm waiting in my hotel room. Seems like we're arguing more and it's getting less.
Chucking my deuces up every time we send somebody out the door. Because that's the right thing to do. Come over here messing with us. We're trying to do something positive and do something right. Get out of here. Okay. We'll keep that song up just in case people still want to get all loked and provoked. So, Mallerie, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through my emails. As a matter of fact, hold on. Please, hold for this small commercial break because Mallerie, they sent me a bunch of things to my email. Let me grab my email real quick. For the small commercial break, let me grab my email real quick. Let me grab my email. Hold on. While I grab Mallerie's, what they sent me. Okay, just the truth.
All that bullshit's for the birds. You ain't nothing but a vulture. Always hoping for the worst, waiting for me to fuck up. You'll regret the day when I find another girl, yeah. They know just what I need, she know just what I mean. When I tell her keep it drama free. Chalking up the yeah. told you that I'm leaving. Whoa, whoa. I know you're mad for some words. I wish you best of luck. Now I'm finna throw them deuces up. Some douches, I'm taking my deuces up. I'm moving on to something better. No more trying to make it work. Make me wanna say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye to her. Make me wanna say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye to her. Used to be Valentine's, together all the time. Thought it was true love, but you know women lie. It's like I sent my love with a text 2 times. Called cause I care, but I ain't getting no reply. Trying to see eye to eye, but it's...
Oh, Mallerie. I found the emails. Mallerie, I got all the emails. Mallerie, do you see that I have screenshots? I have YouTube accounts where I could grab what I need to grab on you. Do you see I have screen recordings? Do you see that, Mallerie? I told you. I'm not going to show them because I'm going to keep this as a surprise for Mallerie. I'm in my email. Mallerie, when I set out a folder for you, I didn't put everything that I have that was sent to me into my email. Yeah, Mallerie with the glasses. The one that doesn't know how to just not talk about me. So, Mallerie, in all of these emails, I have a couple pages of emails, which is typically 50. This is one of my accounts. So, on my other account, I have roughly 70 to 80 emails with screenshots, screen recordings, information that I'm going to put out for everybody to listen to and to see. I told you, leave me alone. You didn't. And I'm going to put this information out now. So I'm going to go through my other roughly between 50, 80 emails with every single email has information calling Mallerie out. And we'll see what comes of it. Don't be calling people out, Mallerie. If you're going to be having a Cash App, a PayPal, and everything else in your link tree. You know what that is? Hypocritical. Yes, Mrs. Ames, that is wild behavior. I told you, leave me alone. You didn't leave me alone. Okay. Whatever comes of this, comes of this. May you have the day you deserve, and it's coming up. Mallerie, it'll take me about 2 hours to get everything into a folder. Analyze it, go through it. So I'm going to analyze everything. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to redact necessary information. And then we're going to have a live stream, and we're going to address you, Mallerie. Should have left me alone. Because I didn't have nothing to say to you, about you, and I kept it pushing. Because there's so many other beggars and scammers on TikTok. So, next time we come across each other, oh, you're off today, Queen of Blessings. Next time we cross paths, you won't know that I'm in these live streams because I have so many accounts. But I'm watching you. That's just the way it is. All right, Mallerie, we're going to keep this moving because TikTok Street Snark, may you have the day you deserve, and it's coming up right now. Hold on. Let me continue with my little...
He said, but poke me some, cause when it's all said and done, I ain't gonna be the one that she can always run to. I hate liars, fuck love, I'm tired of trying. My heart big, but it be quiet. I don't never feel like we vibing, cause every time we alone, it's an awkward silence. So leave your keys on the kitchen counter and give me back that ruby ring with the big diamond. Shit is over, what you tripping for? I don't wanna have to let you go, but baby, I think it's better if I let you know. I'm on some new shit, I'm chucking my deuces up. I'm moving on to something better, better, better. No more trying to make it work. Make me wanna say bye-bye, say bye-bye, say bye-bye to her. Make me wanna say bye-bye, say bye-bye, say bye-bye to her. Look, my shorty always on some bullshit like Chicago, so I flip that middle finger and the index finger follow. Deuces, we ain't got no future in tomorrow. I'm a dick, so it shouldn't be that hard to swallow. The other chick I'm with never complaining. She make me wanna leave the one I'm with Usher Raymond. Probably didn't register, don't trip, later on it will. Shorty full of drama like gangster, Grizzles. I finally noticed it finally hit me. Like Tina did Ike in the limo, it finally hit me. I got a new chick, and she ain't you. She Paula Patton thick, she give me deja vu. And all that attitude, I don't care about it. But all that shit I do for her, you gon' hear about it. Breezy rep 2 up, 2 down, but I'm just putting 2 up.
I'm getting my coffee, everybody. I'm getting my coffee because this is about to be piping hot.
Something better, better, baby. No more trying to make it work. Makes me wanna say bye-bye, say bye-bye, say bye-bye to her. Makes me wanna say bye-bye, say bye-bye, say bye-bye to her.
I'm getting my coffee, everybody. Give me a second. Grab my coffee.
T-Pain, Young Jock.
All right.
Hey, she snapped.
All right. I got my coffee. It's about to go down in Tinseltown. Let me grab a clip real quick. Let's see what's going on here. Because, you know, these people have a lot to say, but here we go. Hey, Queen of All Trades. Good to see you. Welcome in, everybody. TikTok Street Snark. I would like to say that we have some history together through TikTok, but no, we don't. Hey, Queen of Blessings. TikTok Street Snark. You know, the last time we had any type of interaction, you had a lot to say about me. You had a lot to say about me, but really nothing to say about me because let's face the facts. You're just a vile person. Why sugarcoat it? You're one vile individual. You went off on me about this, about that, things that just didn't make any sense. As a matter of fact, you have a lot to say. Yeah, thank you, Pops, for the only thing we ask for over here is taps. Tap that screen at least once. Why don't you come get in a box with me and let's talk about this, which I highly doubt you will. You know, Mallerie wouldn't come over here. Miss Sunshine wouldn't come over here. And I don't think TikTok Street Snark is gonna come over here. What? Look, you have a lot to say, TikTok Street Snark. Let's have a civilized conversation. Somebody share this out to TikTok Street Snark. Oh, they're listening? Why don't you come over here? You have a lot to say about me. Come over here. Hold on. Let me grab something before I continue with my clips. Hold on. And I'll do this. I'm inviting you, TikTok Street Snark. Come on down. Let me grab this clip real quick. I'll wait. I'm waiting. Anytime now. Unblock her? What do you mean unblock her? I don't have her blocked. What you mean? Loudmouth had a lot to say? About what? Well, why'd you block them? Should have let them come in and say what they got to say. So, somebody got blocked? Who is resist? Let's see.
What do you want to
Is
talk
this TikTok
about?
Street Snark?
It is.
Okay, you have a lot to say. I'm here. Let's talk about it.
Hey, you know what?
Involved in all these conversations between, let's say, yesterday and then this morning.
No, she wasn't involved with the conversation yesterday.
Okay, yesterday.
She was
That's
not
right.
there yesterday.
So TikTok Street Snark.
Wait, let me speak.
Oh, you go ahead.
This morning, it didn't have nothing to do with her either. It was with me and Mallerie. And I was invited to that live, if they didn't know that.
Okay, well, if you were invited, then why did you come in so angry?
Because I was invited to the live. Mallory's been talking shit.
No, because we weren't talking. We didn't even mention you, and then you came in and told everybody to shut up and not talk about you, but we weren't. So then we all got confused, and then your husband went live and started attacking Mallerie and me. So there's like 300 people over there, all
I didn't talk to you.
equally confused by what happened.
I didn't talk to you. My conversation was with Mallerie, and Mallerie knew it was with Mallerie.
You came into our chat though. Like you came in.
Guess who invited me? Someone from Mallory's. So Mallory's been talking shit for days. See, you don't go back and watch.
We're only talking about what happened in the live to make this happen. That's what I'm talking about.
TikTok Street Snark, are you also concerned? So a lot of talk is going around that.
Yeah, I heard.
About this list. About this damn list and why we're not stemming from some stupid list that is being put out, and this is where it's all stemming from. So I don't understand.
Yeah, but I like your wife said, right? Last night I wasn't around for the unveiling of the list. I wasn't around for the discussion surrounding the list. I only came into this today, with my friend Sunshine. We were live, and it was being discussed. Like, what is happening now, I feel like, is a misunderstanding from Sunshine's live. If this is all surrounding the list, I have nothing to do with that, and truly don't give a fuck about it.
No, and you're talking about your friend Miss Sunshine?
Ms.
MISS? Or something like that?
ZZ? What are we doing here? Yeah. But, Mexican homie, I need to know, what is my part in your awareness live today?
Okay, so this is one thing we're going to talk about. What is going on with these GoFundMes over for Gaza?
Okay, can I warn you, Mr. Homie? Can I just warn you real quickly? Yeah, both of you actually. I want to warn you. Listen, if you would respectfully listen to what I think, I'll make it clear.
Okay. Go ahead.
I want you to just be careful about what you're about to bite into, okay? Because I've been trying to, and people have been hearing my truth. But what I'm more worried about is not me or my fundraising efforts that are going toward Gaza, right? I'm worried about how people that choose to attack two men experiencing a genocide are going to look when I come out and show everybody exactly what Scammy Claus is asking for. So when I speak to warn you, because you're going to bite onto something that you don't know about. And then I am in turn going to make those people look horrible on the internet for dehumanizing two men that are fighting for their lives in a current genocide. Now go ahead and choose your words how you see fit.
It's not about choosing my words how I see fit. I kind of took that as a threat, but hey, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take it how I want to take it.
No, because homie, it would be the same thing. You show awareness to people that could possibly be scamming people, right? So then I would then show awareness to how human beings are acting about people experiencing a genocide. You can take that any way you want, but it's the same thing that you do, right? You show awareness. I will bring the same awareness to the people on the wrong side of history. Mr. Homie, I think you have a particular position here, right? Because your community is under attack in this country here. Why would you want to be seen attacking people in a genocide? Do you get what I mean?
TikTok Street Snark. I'm gonna make this as loud and clear as I can, with respectfully, right?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna do that right back.
Yeah. So this is the way things are, and the way I see my perspective in life, and my perspective on the world is. I don't want nobody to get it twisted because I've said this hundreds of times. I don't look at race, ethnicity, skin color. I don't.
We're not. That's not what we're talking about.
No, but
we're not talking about any of that.
No, but what you're saying, you try to bring the Hispanic community into this because
I'm trying. No, sir. Is the Hispanic community not currently under attack in our country, Mr. Homie?
Yeah, but that's one thing you insinuated, right?
Okay, that's what I'm bringing awareness to, right? I'm bringing awareness to that. What I'm asking you not to do is pass judgment on those who are being judged and killed and starved to death, right?
Hold on.
That's what I'm asking you not to do.
Hold on. I gotta drop you because you said that word. We can't say that, and they're gonna hit your account. You can come back. She said the word, and you can't say that. You can't say that because they're gonna ding. They're gonna ding her. You can't say it. You have to say unalived or stuff like that. You can't say that. I'm not being disrespectful in any way. But if you say that, you're gonna get dinged. You have to say unalived, and we've been doing
okay. Mr. Homie, can I read a comment that's in your chat? I want to make a point, and then we can continue. Snark is assisting sleeper cells for terroristic sleeper cells. So in my experience, since I've been talking about what's going on in our country and what I've got loud about Gaza, have you seen the racist memes and videos that have been made about me and my friends? I wonder if you would agree with those. But that right there, I've been accused of being a terrorist because I'm calling attention to a genocide. Do you agree with that?
No, look, I don't agree with crazy things being said, right? But so this is a conversation me and you are going to have, right? Because I don't want to bring in what other people are doing or what's going on. I heard about the situation. I was well informed of what's going on, and
no, you weren't.
I'm talking to
Mexican homie. If you think you've been well informed without speaking to me, then you're wrong. You're horribly wrong. Because any information that you've received from Scammy Claus, sir, I want you to discern it.
Wait. No. We don't get information from Scammy.
No. I didn't get no.
Well, okay, then let's talk about only your information. Let's talk about only yours. Then.
Look, me and you are having a conversation. You're trying to insinuate that Scammy Claus or something.
I don't make insinuations. I don't make insinuations.
Well, you just said it.
Yeah, because it happened.
Scammy Claus didn't give me no information on this. What do you mean?
Okay, so then let's discern your information.
Now,
let's talk about
yours. Well, I'm gonna, if you don't mind me asking, have you provided any type of receipts on the donations collected?
I don't have to. Do you know why?
Go ahead and give me your
Do you want
reason.
to talk about why?
Yes.
Because
Go ahead.
okay, let's talk about it. So one day, I smelled a bullshit story, right? I smelled a lie, so I started digging into that lie. I started making a couple phone calls because I knew it was a lie. And when I started getting close to that lie, I got attacked because Scammy Claus was protecting her friend. So then she found out that I was loud about Gaza. Then she saw that I had raised money for water trucks. Other than Duchess of Dallas, if any one contributor had come to me and said, hey, I need to see, I would have showed them. No problem. I have done it already. I have done it. Even the one person that had questions, I sent her receipts, but that wasn't good enough. So every time I provide the truth, they just pick up another question that makes no sense. So it's not about the fundraiser. It's about Florida Man 13 and Scammy Claus.
Well, I don't, like I said, this is a conversation between me and you. I'm going to kind of leave everybody else out of this because
Well, that's
this,
how it started. You have to have that context, or you will not
yeah,
be able
but
to
here's the
discern
thing.
the information.
No, but here's the thing. I'm not bringing nobody else into this. You're talking about all these people, all these different people.
Because that's, you
But
can't
hold on.
talk about it without that part.
No, but here's the thing. When I asked you, have you shown receipts? You say you don't have to. So what is the
No, I
reasoning
don't.
why you don't have to? You didn't give me an exact reason why you don't have to show receipts if you're collecting. If you have GoFundMe's, several GoFundMe's, right?
Two. No, two.
Well, yeah, that's several.
Two. That's a
Yes, well,
couple.
two.
Are
Okay,
you
okay.
okay?
Well, excuse me, I'm not even being disrespectful. A couple.
Well, you just called two several.
Well, if I
That's,
worded it wrong, my apologies.
my goodness.
Okay, okay. Well, if I worded it wrong, my apologies. Two. Okay, yeah, two GoFundMe's, and
Yeah.
you think that you don't have to provide receipts to show
Right.
the community on TikTok
The only receipts I have to provide are to the people that donated.
and nobody else.
Nobody else. I owe you nothing. I owe nobody anything. Only the caring people that saw two men trying to live and keep their children alive during a genocide are the only people that I care about because they cared enough to donate.
Do you mind me asking how much you've collected so far?
I do mind.
Why would you
Because,
mind?
it's public information, you
I
idiot.
know, but I'm an idiot.
You are. You
You
asked me
know,
a question you could answer yourself.
I not once have I been disrespectful to you. Not once have I been disrespectful to you. That's why I kicked you out of the box. Yes, I did. I said, let's have a civilized conversation. Not once was I rude to you. Not once did I call you any names. Not once did I do any of that. I don't understand why I did drop her. I don't understand why they have to stoop to the level of name calling. I didn't disrespect her in any type of way. Why sit there and call me an idiot and then just because I said several and didn't say a couple, she went off about that. She thinks, according to her, she don't have to show receipts for these GoFundMe's. According to her. Because she goes, this is public information. I wanted to try to get the truth. I wanted to get down to how much have you collected. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me see this. We don't know, and this goes with any scammer or beggar. That was a TikTok street snark. Here's the things when it comes down to beggars and scammers and when they have GoFundMe's or, they're collecting money for several different causes, according to them, right? We don't know what they collect on the back end. We don't know what they're collecting on the back end. When she said that, my community was under attack. And right away, I knew she had insinuated the Hispanic, the Mexican community because of what's going on here in the country, right? Right? I knew that this conversation was going to go left, and it was going to go left real quick. Because why? I was trying to get her side of what's going on. The moment that she started mentioning about the community, I should know what's going on with my community, yada, yada, yada. I knew this conversation was going to go left. I was like, oh, so now she's looking at ethnicities. I didn't even go that route because I will not go down that route at all. That was TikTok Street Smart. TikTok Street Snark. And then after that, she wanted to involve a bunch of people. Do you support your community? I support all the community. What do you mean? What do you mean? We've had numerous conversations. It's wild behavior for people to bring up where people come from. It's wild behavior to... I think what she was trying to do was trying to bait me into something that, she knows I won't get baited into, because my views on life in general and everything, I will not tolerate racism. I will not tolerate people being homophobic. I will not tolerate any of that nonsense. We all bleed the same color. We all bleed the same color. So no, I don't look at who you sleep with, who you lay your head at night with. I don't look at your skin color. I don't look at none of that. What I look at, right is right, wrong is wrong. And I don't know how many times I have to keep saying that. I look at right is right, wrong is wrong. And I don't know how many times I have to keep saying that. It's wild behavior. So I wanted to get her story. I wanted to know where she was coming from. And you know what tells me a lot about a person? What tells me a lot about Snark is absolutely not racist. Did I say she was racist? Did anybody here hear me say that Snark is a racist individual? Anybody? Because I never called her a racist. I'm talking about the discussion that we were having. Now, if they want to spin the narrative, they can spin the narrative. But I never called her a racist individual. Not once. I said that she brought into the conversation about how the Hispanic and Mexican community were being under attack. That I never called her a racist. So, back to what I was saying. The one thing that I see with scammers and beggars is we don't know what is truly collected. Yeah, you can see the public information, through the GoFundMes and stuff of that nature. But there's always something on the back end. She could disagree with me. That's up to her. But we see that happen a lot. There's always things going on in the back end. Because we don't know what's truly collected. We don't know if on the back end they're sending her money to payment apps. And that's why I asked, do you mind telling us how much you collected? You know what? Get that account out of here. We're not going to tolerate that nonsense. Here, I'll do it. If you see that type of nonsense in the comments, just get him out of here. Yeah, thank you for moderators. If you see that type of nonsense in the comments, just get him out of here. We're not, it's okay. Thank you, Pops. We're not going to tolerate that. I do my own research, but I was asking questions. I always do my research. That was Snark. I got to confirm it. I got to confirm it. You know, I can't just say that was Snark. She was requesting a box. So here, why not disclose what you collected? Why not? Oh, it was? I'm going to have to verify it. I'm going to have to verify it, everybody. So if you did your own research, wouldn't you have your file then? Nothing to see here. I ask questions. I guess nothing to see here hasn't been around watching or hasn't been on our live streams. Okay, Pops, give me 1 second. They must be you. Okay, Pops, give me 1 second. You're curious. If you think I haven't done my research, you're completely wrong. You're completely wrong. We've been doing this a little bit over a year and a half. A little bit over a year and a half we've been doing this, bringing awareness. I was doing research before we even started an awareness page. But why does she think that she doesn't have to show receipts? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. You know, the math is not mathing. She goes, and it's something that we hear. It's something that we hear with scammers and beggars that we cover. I only have to show the people that donated. How many scammers and beggars have we seen on TikTok that say the same thing? I only have to show the people that donated. Give me 1 second. I'll bring you up, Scammy. And then she says, well, I don't have to prove nothing to you, to anybody. That she don't have to prove anything to anybody, and just that's the way it is. Well, if you're collecting money through a GoFundMe, through anything, I don't care if it's a GoFundMe. There's several other websites where you could collect donations for various things, or you're collecting money through payment apps, whatever the case might be. The right thing to do is show the receipts. That's the way it is. Morally, it's the right thing to do. But the moment she says she don't have to show receipts to anybody, it's a red flag. But she wants to jump over to bringing a bunch of different people in. Oh, because you got your information from Scammy Claus. You got your information from... No, I didn't. Scammy Claus didn't give me any information. I came across videos. I came across... There's a lot being put out there. As a matter of fact, yeah, Gen X Mom, look, if you're asking for donations, and I don't... So what she was trying to make it seem, I think what TikTok Street Snark wanted to do was she wanted to make it seem like I had something against another country. I think she was kind of leaning towards and trying to bait me into something that she knows she will never bait me into. She seemed to think that I had something against the individuals or the country where they reside in. She was going to try to, you know, paint a picture that I have something against the individuals that she's collected money for. Exactly, Queen of Blessings. If you have nothing to hide, you would show the proof. That's not going to happen. You'll never have me stoop to that level. I will never stoop to the level of the way people think, because I don't have anything to hide TikTok Street Snark. And at that, I will never think the way that she does. Because her way of thinking and trying to pull this nonsense, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. So if you have nothing to hide, why wouldn't you just show the receipts? Because at this point, the conversation was between me and TikTok Street Snark. And she didn't like it. She didn't like it at all. So I'm gonna bring up Scammy Claus requested a box, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring up Scammy Claus. Hey, Scammy Claus.
Oh boy, good afternoon.
Well,
Good afternoon. You know, there's so much. There's so much here. You know, I'm gonna try to keep it as concise as I can. I have never come across somebody on this app that has said so many horrible things about me just because I asked her for receipts. I mean, I have been called everything in the book, all because I have been called everything in the book, all because we called out the two GoFundMes and asked how much she was getting behind the scenes on her PayPal. And if all that money was going to these gentlemen, all we asked for is a screenshot of her PayPal to see how much money other people gave her. Because I'm going to tell you, there are so many inconsistencies with those GoFundMes that she wrote herself that A, she won't admit she lied on, and B, she won't discuss. She won't admit she lied on, and B, she won't discuss. You know, and you know, just a couple things, okay? Oh yeah, she threatened to KILL me too, which was awesome.
Was that on?
And you know, just a couple things, okay? Oh yeah, she threatened to KILL me too, which was awesome.
Was that on a live stream?
Yes, I have it posted on my page.
Do you? Did she? How did she word it? Because I don't want to play Scammy Claus. She right away jumped to the fact that you were feeding me information. You never sent me anything. You never.
I didn't even know you were doing a live about her until about 5 minutes before you were doing it.
Yeah,
Well,
it is wild. And right away she jumped on. Wow, Scammy Claus sent you the information and essentially saying that you were lying to me. And I was like, wait a minute.
No.
I never got no messages from Scammy Claus. I could pull up my messages from the last time Scammy Claus sent me any message, and I guarantee you it was quite a while ago.
Months ago.
Go ahead, Scammy. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. You know, you know, first of all, Sunday night we had a live. It's on YouTube on Scam Slam 411, where we go through all the discrepancies on the GoFundMes, on the stuff that she said. You know, I'll just highlight a couple which caused us to be where we are today. Now, when I first started looking into it, yes, I was looking into it for a number of reasons based on something that she was doing to some people that I was supporting on here. And I'm not going to get into it on this because this isn't what it's about. When I started looking into the help with shelter, medical, and food, something like that. She made it sound like this guy was living in Gaza in the war zone, like in the really bad section. And listen, we can all agree Gaza is in terrible shape right now. Yes, there is a genocide, even though she wants to say I support genocide. But it turns out that this guy is living in the West Bank, which, yes, there are problems there, but not nearly as bad as the Gaza Strip. He's living with family. Now, in her GoFundMe, it says he has no family for support right now, but he's living with his mom and another relative on the West Bank. Okay, saying that he needs medical help. It turns out he was fighting cancer, a few years ago, but he's in remission. So all of these things adding up. It says that he needs to support his family. In any of his videos on TikTok and in none of the GoFundMe's does it mention a family anywhere. It doesn't mention a family. Doesn't mention anything. You look at this gentleman's videos on his page. To be honest, it doesn't look like this guy is suffering at all. Okay, and you can look at the videos yourself. He's in a nice car, nice suit, iron shirt. I mean, you look at it and you're like, this is not the description of the person that's in the GoFundMe.
Scammy, can I ask a question? Because there was a video I did see, and I think it was played on your live. And see, I'm not. I stay outside and I watch because the moment I walk in,
Yeah, I know.
I like to stay outside and watch. It's just how I conduct myself, and I've conducted myself like that for a long time. So one of the videos that was played was when the pew pew sounds were involved in a video, and come to find out that was a sound that was available on through the TikTok sounds. Am I correct?
Yes. It showed a video of, it looked like in the background there was a puff, like a cloud of smoke from something. And when you post a video on TikTok, it'll suggest sound for you, okay, that you can add to the video. So the sound that Bilal added to that video was the sound of pew-pews. And if you look at the video, there's people walking on the street, and none of them are fazed at all about pew-pews. Now, I don't know about you, homie, but if I'm out somewhere and I start hearing that, I'm running for cover.
I seen that. I seen that. They were kind of looking off in the distance. There was a cloud of smoke, but
yeah, but they weren't in peril. They didn't look like they were in peril. That was absolutely added, and I showed how when you click the link for that sound, you open it up. And that was another red flag. Why are you doing that unless you want to try to, manipulate somebody's sympathies to, really push the peril that you're in? Really push the peril that you're in. Another thing they showed, which was ridiculous, is they showed like a mashup of a video that, she had collected money for a cow, okay? Mashup of a video that, she had collected money for a cow, okay? To be able to feed the people. So they show this cow, and then all of a sudden they show all of these packages of meat. Like they show all of these packages of meat, like you'd find in like a grocery store. It has a label on it, the whole thing, saran wrap. And they're making it look like, it says they're handing it out to cancer patients. So in this video, they show these people handing food to people that are opening their doors up. It looks like an apartment. It's supposed to be cancer patients. I'm not sure why all these cancer patients would be living in the same apartment. It wasn't a hospital. The elevators were definitely not wide enough for a hospital. As you know, you have to be able to move gurneys in and out. That wasn't possible. And the inside of the building was not clean. I mean, if it's a hospital, it's going to be in better condition. But the best part is that if one of the people that has been helping find information, the date on the packages was June of 2023, which was before this conflict started. So they're putting video information out there that is not accurate. They're playing it off like it is happening now or last month or 2 months ago. And they're sending a message based on manipulating viewers to send money. And, there's so many other discrepancies. last night she showed part of what she considers a receipt. And it was a snapshot of, it looked like one of her friends Aboud's PayPal. Now, most of it was in Arabic. And she only showed like 4 transactions. And the 4 transactions she showed doesn't even equal what he has collected on his GoFundMe. I know for a fact she is collecting money. Also, people are sending it to her, not just to the GoFundMe, which is in her name. I've had receipts sent for that. I showed last night how easy it is if you go to PayPal, how you can sort your transactions based on a name. So for instance, I sorted my transactions from everything that I've gotten on TikTok. And I took a snapshot of that and I showed it in my live. It took about a minute. So it would be very easy for her to show the transactions of how much she's gotten on her PayPal and how much she sent to these people, but she won't do it.
How does the exchange rate work? Because I know when, like, if I was to send like my uncle's money over to Mexico, there's an exchange rate. It gets converted from dollars. In Mexico, it gets converted to pesos. How does the exchange rate work over where they're at?
Well, if I have the word right, people in Gaza and on the West Bank, they use the currency that Israel uses. I think it's called the IRL or something like that. Oh, good. TikTok speaks now. Snark is back in here. So that's part of the question we don't understand because she won't do it.
And here's the thing. When she brought you up and said Scammy Claus was feeding you information, I said, no, Scammy hasn't sent me anything. So, I watch, I listen, and I pay attention. Now, TikTok Street Snark, me and you, we could have had this conversation. And you decided, and you made it loud and clear, TikTok Street Snark. And you can stick around. You can stick around and listen to what's being said. It was as easy as just providing receipts, and showing receipts. It wouldn't have been that hard, but according to you, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. That's not the way things work. But if that's how you feel, and, I've never disrespected you, and I kept a civilized conversation with you, that's up to you. That I can't force you to show receipts. So, lies? What do you mean, lies? You started bringing the Hispanic community into this. You started bringing the Mexican community into this. What is wrong? Scammy, go ahead, Scammy. I apologize.
She does that for deflection, okay? When she doesn't want to answer a question, she'll bring up another topic, or my favorite deflection she uses is instead of answering a question, she'll ask a question. And I've had to deal with that a bunch of times. But getting back to this.
The exchange rate. Sorry about that.
Right. That's okay. So one of the questions that we had was, how is the money getting over there? Because if you read anything about sending money over, especially to a place like Gaza, the United States government is very serious about that, because we know that Palestine is pretty much run by a terrorist organization. Okay, and I'm not saying that the 2 guys she's involved with are part of Hamas. I don't know that, but it is very difficult to get American money over there. There's certain things you're supposed to follow based on what the State Department says, and everybody should take a look at the Patriot Act and what that says about sending money.
Sorry to cut you off, Scammy. Let me address this. Mandy, you have Hair Junkies. One of the pictures as your profile of Hair Junkie. I call out people that are doing that. Did somebody get rid of him? Okay, they got rid of him. Don't come in here with somebody's profile picture that they, unfortunately, they're no longer here with us, because I'm not going to tolerate it. So goodbye. Sorry, Scammy. I apologize.
That's okay. So what we asked of her, okay, and this was what we offered her. I said to her that if this is legitimate, what she's doing, and it's completely on the up and up, that if she posted the receipts of how much money she has collected on the GoFundMe's and on her PayPal, if she showed the total of money, who she sent it to, and how that person got it over to these people in Gaza or in the West Bank, it over to these people in Gaza or in the West Bank, and how that money was used to purchase supplies, food, whatever, water, whatever they were buying. If you really care about these guys and the struggles they are going for, I would be supporting what she's doing, and she would be getting more money for these individuals. And she said, absolutely not. She said that she's not going to take commands from something like a racist and a fascist, which is what she called me. And so she wouldn't show it. She won't show it. So nobody knows how the money is getting there. She's collecting this money. The exchange rate over there, when you the American money over there is strong in terms of how much these individuals are getting, which equals the currency that they use. But again, nobody knows how much it is because she won't say anything. And, I'm tired of her saying that, I'm only doing this because of what she did to somebody on here. No, I call out scammers, and I've called out GoFundMe's in the past. And she can't get it past the fact that I'm calling her out and she's turning it into, I'm a racist, I'm this and that, I'm a Zionist. I mean, she has put so many false jackets on me. She said that I disability shamed her daughter. She said because of what I'm doing, her daughter is self-harming herself. She has put so much crap out on me because I've been calling her out for this. And all I've asked for is to show her supporters and show the people that have donated money and show the TikTok community that what she's doing, as she says, is righteous. And if she did that, she would be getting more support.
And so that's why I asked the questions that I did, because I wanted to hear it from her. And then she called me an idiot. And I was like, wait a minute, why do we have to resort to name calling? I didn't call her a one. I wasn't derogatory with her.
No, but that's how she is. I'm sorry. That's how she is, Mexican homie. You can't have a conversation. I have tried to have conversations with her 3 previous times in boxes. And she can't discuss the topic at hand. She brings in a lot of stuff. She mutes you. She talks over you. She calls you names. You just can't. You can't do it. You can't do it.
So she was over talking me. I would try to say something, and I let her. I let her speak her piece and whatnot, and then she started with the what I consider nonsense, right? And why bring the Hispanic community into something that has nothing to do with our conversation? I wanted to know about the GoFundMe's.
That's her deflection, though.
Yeah.
She wanted to get you off topic, and she manipulates not only emotionally, but she manipulates with her words. Okay, she manipulated that GoFundMe for Abood to make it sound like this guy was homeless. He had nothing. He had no family. He was sick with cancer. Then we find out had nothing. He had no family. He was sick with cancer. Then we find out the opposite. She's good at that. Let me tell you one other thing she did, homie, which was absolutely repulsive. She has been sending pictures of Abood's nephews that had been deceased to people to donate money. Somebody sent me those pictures. If you posted those pictures on TikTok, your account would probably be banned permanently. She sent videos of these poor children that were no longer with us. She sent these to multiple people. Okay? And I knew what her excuse was going to be, and I said the excuse before she even came up with it. And her excuse was, people need to see what's really happening over there. She seems to think that none of us realize what's happening. She's the only one who understands. Oh, I'm lying? Really? Oh, okay. So people that sent me those clips, okay, whatever.
Who's Spicy Ketchup?
Oh, that's a supporter of Snark. She's in her box all the time.
Okay, because she was requesting a box earlier.
Yeah, she's in her box all the time. She's another one. You either support Snark or you don't. And the people that support Snark don't ask questions. No, that's not Mallerie. Mallerie is Spicy Mayo.
Yeah, she's Spicy Mayo.
Spicy Ketchup is somebody else. People that support her will not ask questions. They will not ask questions. They will not ask for receipts. They trust her. They don't want to see anything. My personal feeling is she is absolutely taking something on the back end. Because if you have nothing to hide, you have no reason to show it. And don't give me this excuse where, well, Scammy wants me to show it, so I won't. I mean, that's not an excuse. That's a deflection again.
I just asked her very respectfully, is she willing to show it? Why not show receipts? And then that's when she started hitting me, well, it's public information, idiot. And I'm all like, wait a minute.
It's not public information, though. The money that's on PayPal or that's on a GoFundMe, it shows you how much was collected. So it doesn't show how much was sent. And then her own PayPal, which people sent her directly, not through the GoFundMe, that's not public information.
Yeah, the whole PayPal situation, why wouldn't she just show what was?
Because she's hiding something.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And she can say that she's not. And the only way that she can prove that she's not is by showing it, and she won't.
And that's why I asked the questions that I did. And that's why I asked the questions that I did. I told her, let's have a civilized conversation. And that civilized conversation went out the door. I kept it respectful, and she overtalked me. She called me a name, and then I dropped her out. She overtalked me. She called me a name, and then I dropped her out of the box. I was like, hey, you know what? And then she gave me a warning. Well, she gave me and Mrs. Homie a warning.
Right,
she goes, I'm going to warn you. What? She goes, I'm going to warn you. She goes, actually, I'm going to warn both of you. And I was like, a warning? A warning? And I told her, a warning? You're going to warn us? A warning about what? Because I took that as a THREAT.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I was all like, so I was all, that's why I asked her, you're going to warn me?
Listen, she's already threatened Scam Slam and I that she was going to get protection orders against us. Why?
She could get them against me. Tell you what, TikTok Street Snark. They hit us restricted audience. I don't care. Don't be doing that. Don't, to anybody in general, right? To anybody in general, to be sitting there giving warnings to people like,
or
don't do that.
Well,
it makes no sense.
She also said that she was going to sue Scam Slam and I for hate crimes. And you know who talks like that? Scammers. Scammers talk like that they're going to sue you or they're going to do this.
All we're doing is having a civilized conversation. That's about it.
Yep.
You know, it's not like I'm saying anything negative. It's not like, I mean, like I said, me and TikTok Street Snark, we had an interaction a while back, and you know, I said, you know, don't talk about me, and I won't talk about you. We go our separate ways, and that's that. But you know, when this whole thing came out with the list and everything out yesterday, I was not in. I don't like when people bring up my name. You know, a lot of this all stemmed from where my name was not on the list, me or Mrs. Homie. That list that was put out yesterday. And I was all like, what is. So if my name would have been on this so called list, right?
Right.
They would have been happy, right? They would have, you know, hey, they would have been jumping up and down and having a celebration about the Mexican homie being on some list that's being put out. And I was like, hey, but then I try to have a conversation, you know, about these GoFundMe's, and because I said several. She also got upset because I said,
I know, I heard that. But again, that's what she does. She uses that. That's not a big deal. The difference between several and two. But again, she does that because she wants to deflect from what you're talking about. And look what she did. She was able to do that. She's having she's having an argument about the word several versus a couple. I mean,
yeah.
this is exactly what she does. You know, oh no, go on.
And you know, all I wanted was just to get some basic information about these GoFundMe's. Like I said, you didn't send me any
Nope,
information,
not at all.
and I know it's the GoFundMe's are public information. I get it, but I wanted to hear from her. That was it. I wanted to get her side and ask about how much was collected. She wouldn't even tell me how much was collected, anyways, because when they don't want to disclose the dollar amount, it's a red flag.
And when they are being asked about it and they become defensive and then they name call, I mean, that is a huge tell right there. A huge tell.
It is. And that's why, like I said, I've seen videos. I scroll across TikTok and see, you know, what's going on. But nobody's been feeding me no information on this whole situation. I wanted to get her side of this, and obviously I couldn't because, you know, they could hold a live stream. They could talk about me. They could talk about this. They could talk about that. I'm not bothered by it. But, you know, if I've been staying away from TikTok Street Snark and Mallerie and you know, a lot of people, I just been, you know, bringing awareness on the scammers and the beggars on TikTok, you know, going back to what I normally do. And for some odd reason, they don't know how to just go about their business.
But, you know, do you notice, homie, that all of these people that are now kind of collected together, you know, they all, many of them have one thing in common. And that one thing in common is that they have been called out by people on TikTok for something. And because of that, credibility is lost. You know, the Ms. on, what's her name? Ms. I don't give a whatever her name is, the one that had the live today. And she's with TikTok Snark. And then there's another one, Wasty Casey, that's very supportive. All of them have been called out for doing like shady, you know what, on this app. And it's like they tend to all, you know, connect together. I don't know if it's because they feel like that there's power in numbers and maybe they'll be accepted or believed again, but they all have done something. They all have been doing, you know, stuff that is creepy. And with Mallerie too. I mean, with her financial apps in there in a PO box, she's not taken as, being as believable, as she was. You know, people, she lost all her credibility with that. And all these people kind of now, are getting together, and you can see it nightly in boxes. Who's jumping in whose box? What boxes are they not going in anymore? That's just, I always tell people, just watch and listen from the outside, because letting people talk will tell you everything you need to hear. And you can see it. You can see it.
And with this whole situation, like I said, I was just listening in last night. I was scrolling through TikTok, and I I happened to stumble across, when they started mentioning my name, like I said, it was more people were upset because my name was not on that list. I said, so
Which
I
is
went in
crazy,
there.
right? Which is crazy.
Yeah, so I went in there and I asked, why was my name brought up? And Mallory's attitude completely changed. She went from questioning why I was not on that list to then saying, and then Miss Homie went in there and um, she completely changed and was like, "Oh well, I was just saying that the homies were not on that list." No. The question was posed as why are the homies not on that list? And I was all like, wait a minute, what?
And we know exactly what that insinuation was.
Yeah, that we should be on the list.
Right. But
That
not
was
only
it.
that, the insinuation that I took from it when I heard it was they were insinuating that you were somehow connected to it.
Exactly.
That was the insinuation that I got.
Exactly, because um, I wouldn't be tied up with all that's going on, and I was like, kind of threw me off. And then they were having the discussion today, and then Miss Homie went in there, and then they were talking smack to her, and then they ended up blocking her, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to address this, and
Yeah.
I didn't have nothing to say about Mallory for a long time. I kind of left it alone. I thought she actually stepped away from awareness because I haven't came across her live streams in a while. And then they're like, go to her link tree. When I started this live stream, and I went and I was all like, wait a minute, there's a CA in there now. I was all like,
what the list is, a lot of people are asking. There was a list put out last night that another creator, her name used to be Calhoun, had a list of a lot of creators on this app and a lot of people that aren't even creators, they're just listeners, and had a list and had files, and we're assuming information and things like that on all these individuals. So last night there were a lot of lives going through the list to see what names were on it. It's not the first time it's happened. There are other people that have done this before.
it's called a phone dump, right? Scammy Claus is called a phone dump.
Right. It was a phone dump from one person to another. If people think that there's only a couple people on this app that have files on everybody, you're crazy. I mean, there's so many people that do this stuff. I don't know why. I think it's kind of creepy, quite honestly. But whatever. I mean, whatever floats your boat, have fun with it.
Yeah, and the phone dump, like I said, we've seen that happen more than just a couple of times. And I'm gonna let me word it right because I'm gonna get in trouble.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I know.
If I say several times, I'm gonna say more than a couple of times.
Right.
This has happened. Well, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble because I got in trouble for saying several when it was a couple.
Well, do you mean 2 or 3, or do you mean 5? Or I'm kidding.
I have to be specific on these numbers now. So these phone dumps that people are doing, it contains files, folders, names,
addresses. It could have
doxing. People are getting doxed left and right, and okay, if they're doing phone dumps, but then people get upset when they don't see certain names on there, and they're all like, "Oh, well, this person and this person should be on there," and yada yada. And I'm like, "Wait a minute."
Which is crazy.
Why be so bent out of shape just because you didn't see a name on it?
Right. I'm gonna sorry. Go on, homie.
No, go ahead. I'm making more coffee because
I'm gonna say, for the people that don't know the whole background and all the reasons why myself and a bunch of people have feel like all these GoFundMes that Snark has and the money she's collecting, that there's red flags. If you guys go to YouTube to Scam Slam 411, the whole live that we had Sunday night is on there, where we go through everything that makes us a little queasy about this as to why we think there's something a little bit shady going on. The other place is if on my main page, I have a lot of videos pointing out stuff also, that raise questions. And as I say to everybody, listen, watch the video, on YouTube, look at my videos and listen to what Snark says on all the lives she bounces in and out of in boxes. I mean, to me, if you have to go in multiple boxes,
And with everything that's going on, and see, with everything that's going on, and see, and like I was explaining too, and I know Mallerie was listening. You don't need to like me, Mallerie, but I will call you out on your nonsense because that's just what I do. And don't mention me. Don't. Well, she's going to continue because I think Mallerie is more drama, more about the drama than actually putting the awareness. Mallerie is more drama, more about the drama than actually putting the awareness out. But what I don't like, and I called her out on this previously, was that she's bringing awareness about people. And then at the same time, she has these payment apps and the PO box and all this, and she's a hypocrite. It's hypocritical.
Yeah, and that's why, homie, as you know, every month when I donate, I'm very transparent. This is how much money I got on TikTok. This is where we donated the money, because damn well if I didn't do that. I mean, I've been called out before by people for doing that, and they don't even realize that I post all the receipts. I mean, you have to be transparent when it comes to money on this app, especially if you're in awareness.
Yeah, and a lot of people, we get the question all the time. One of the things I get the question, and everybody runs their platforms differently, because I what people have, and everybody runs their platforms differently, because what people have messaged me, or they come over to the live streams and are like, why is this and this person have their gifts on and yada, and you know what? I got tired of addressing it because I was all like, everybody runs their platforms differently, right?
Yeah.
And one of the questions I always get in the comments is why can't we send you a gift? Why can't we send you a heart me? Why can't I just turn them off? This is how we choose to run the platform, and that's our choice. I rather not. I don't want to be questioned by anybody. Hey, well, you got all these gifts or whatever. I just don't want to deal with that. I want to put the awareness out there and keep it moving. I don't want people to start coming for me and say, hey, well, you do this for the money. No, I don't, because
you don't make anything.
No, essentially, TikTok is not going to pay for Linktree.
Yeah.
And the PO box and all that.
When I started on this, a year and a half ago, probably, I think it was right after you started, maybe a little before, around the same time. I didn't realize that you got money, maybe a little before, around the same time. I didn't realize that you got money. Like, I didn't know anything about gifts or anything like that. And then when I got the notification saying there's money waiting for you, I'm like, from what? I mean, I had no clue. So then when I realized I was getting paid, I got the notification saying there's money waiting for you. I'm like, from what? I mean, I had no clue. So then when I realized I was getting paid money to do this, I'm like, that just doesn't seem right, because here I am calling out people for doing crappy things and calling out people for doing crappy things. And to me, that didn't feel right, that I'm calling out people, but I'm getting money for it, which is when I said, okay, I'm going to start donating it. Because with the whole thing with Mallerie, I mean, there's other creators now that have shifted focus and are now, with the whole thing with Mallerie, I mean, there's other creators now that have shifted focus and are now, posting their PayPals and their Cash Apps and their bios and all that. And I got a problem with that. But like you said, people do things differently. So
yeah, and that's why I quit. Really, like I said, the comments always will always question me on that, and I tell people, look, this is how we're going to run the platform over here. But the first time I called Mallerie out, it was because when she had collected that money for her husband's birthday,
Her
and she thought
husband's
it was
birthday,
all
yep.
fine. She thought it was all fine and dandy, and there was nothing wrong with it because allegedly because her supporters told her to.
Yeah.
Because her supporters wanted to do something nice for her husband and yada. It's like me saying, you know what, my supporters told me to put my payment apps in my bio, and it's because my supporters told me to do it. And I was all like, wait a minute. The
You know who does that all the time? Sean. Sean will always say, "Well, I wasn't going to put my PayPal up, but my mods told me I should." Sound familiar?
Yeah, and how are you going to blame somebody else for your actions? Because
Exactly.
because all she had to do was turn around and say, "No, I'm not going to do that."
Right.
It's as simple as saying, "No, I'm not going to do that." Do you know how many times? And I'm going to make this loud and clear. Do people know how many times? I'm going to make this loud and clear. Do people know how many times I have got messages from a lot of people saying, I even had somebody come and get in a box and say, why don't you hold a fundraiser or do a GoFundMe or collect money for this cause or for this and that? I tell them I don't do that because the amount of messages I received is astronomical.
Yeah.
I get a lot of messages on the different accounts. I don't do it. And I'm never going to do it. I will never hold a fundraiser or I'm never going to do it. I will never hold a fundraiser or a GoFundMe. It's not how I'm going to conduct myself. The moment I do anything like that, boom, I'm going to be
Yeah.
the worst guy on TikTok.
Yeah, and the magnifying glass will be out.
Oh yeah. And so that's why I just don't. I don't do it, and I'm not going to do it. Uh, it's just something I just can't do it because I'm calling beggars and scammers out and asking the same questions that we are. How
Yeah.
do we know that what you collected is actually factual and true?
Well, the difference is this, though. If you ever did that, if I ever did that, we would be transparent and show every single receipt of every single penny and where every single penny went. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what I know exactly what you mean, but there will always be the question where
Yeah.
people that don't like you, essentially,
Oh,
that don't like
absolutely.
your platform or don't like you just in general, there will always be that one question that how do we know you're telling the truth, even
Right.
though but it's just something I'm avoiding that at all costs because I don't want to be involved in that, and I'm like, hey, you know what, we'll continue to run the platform. When I first started bringing awareness on TikTok, I didn't, when we were live stream, I didn't know how to turn off the gifts. I didn't know how to run I
Right. Yeah.
still,
Me either. Me
there's a
either.
lot, there's a lot of things that like co-hosting and stuff like that, when they want you to co-host with somebody, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
But the basics of running a live stream, I know how to do it. So, I know how to turn off the gifts. I know how to do the green screen and, don't hate me,
I
love
get it.
me. I'm not going to be bothered by it if they don't like me. What I tell people is if you don't like me, just there's other people live streaming. Go and join
Yep.
them.
Yep. Move on. That's what I say. Move on.
Yeah, just move on. Block me, especially if you don't like me. Just block me and keep it moving. But
Yep.
don't. I don't want them like TikTok Street Snark and Mallerie. Don't mention me. But they've opened up a can of worms that I'm gonna Mallerie. Your folder's about to double. That's a guarantee. TikTok Street Snark. I left you alone, but at this point, I got to do what I have to do, and I'm gonna essentially the folder I put together is just I told you, leave me alone because what it seems like they're more wrapped up in drama than actually putting awareness out. I don't want to be part of that drama.
Nope. I hear you. I hear
And,
you.
and that's
Homie,
just that. Go
Homie,
ahead.
Mrs. Homie, have a wonderful afternoon. I'm gonna drop because I have some stuff I have to do around the house. Thank you for bringing me up. And if you have any questions or anything, reach out. Okay.
Thank you, Scammy Claus. You have a blessed day.
Take care.
You're welcome. So essentially, that's where we're going to be at with all this. With this whole situation with Mallerie and TikTok Street Snark. I'm gonna say it real loud and louder for the ones in the back. If you don't like me, oh well. Now, for the ones, I'm gonna find out who's the ones that's pulling juvenile records because they pulled the wrong person. For the ones over there that are sitting on the other side, for the ones pulling juvenile records, remember, there's a digital footprint. You always have to put a login name with your password. We're going to find out who you are. There's going to be some people that I'm going to reach out to. And when we find out, we're going to let everybody know who you are. We're going to do the right thing. We're going to do the right thing and let everybody know who is doing some highly illegal activities. Look, I keep my word as a man. And that's just how I do it. I found another clip let me play it, and then we're going to get out of here. Let me see what this clip about Mallerie says.
My old number. Who's been back? Who's actually been doing really well, I will say. And the added bonus is they are making Petty crash the fuck out like every day. It's a beautiful thing. You confront it. Yeah. I watch Petty.
I don't know what it is with Mallerie, but Mallerie, I'm just going to finish putting your file together. I just don't. It's wild behavior. So, with that being said, everybody. Oh, by the way, let me say this. I know, Queen of Blessings. I know. Let me say this about this individual before I get out of here. Where is it at? Okay. I just want to address something. I was tagged in a video. It was sent to me. Here's the thing. Regarding this young lady, and I'm keeping it respectful. She was in somebody's live stream yesterday, somebody by the name of Crash Out Kaylee. And some questions were asked to Faith, and it was late night. It was very, very late night. You have questions? You have the video of it, little man? Ooh, let me see if I can. When her mom came in and said the popo was called. Hold on. Let me make sure that little man has that. I only got a little clip of it where the popo was called. So her mom said, yeah, give me 1 second. So, okay, little man, I'm going to have to grab it. So, it was a short clip. Faith's mom came in and asked about somebody named Kaylee. Because Kaylee's the one that did the interview. And her mom said that somebody by the name of Kaylee had called the cops because Faith had said that she was thinking of unaliving herself. That is wild behavior. That is wild behavior. I don't know why people are calling the popo. Because I seen the interview. I watched the interview. And let me say this about this Crash Out Kaylee. Crash Out Kaylee only has heard about Faith, not yesterday, the day before. So how are you, and I'll bring you up here shortly, the one requesting a box, I forgot your name. how are you going to interview somebody without doing your research? You know what I seen when that interview was happening? Yeah, Kaylee is a nurse. I heard about that. I heard about it. Now, how are you going to interview somebody if you don't have information? You haven't done your research. And you know, this goes out to Crash Out Kaylee. If you're going to interview somebody, at least come in with some research that you've done. You know, here's the one thing that I kind of noticed with Crash Out Kaylee. Yeah, ordinary Supergirl, I get it. Sorry. Now, one thing I noticed is a lot of the information or information, I'm not going to say a lot, right? Because I'm going to be careful on how I say this. Information gathered by Crash Out Kaylee, it seems like she's more dependent on her moderators to get the information than getting the information herself. I know they say she's a nurse and yada yada. I get it. Yeah, she must work long hours, right? But if you highly depend on your moderators to give you all the information, that means you're not doing your own research. If you're not doing your own research, you might as well hold off the interview until you actually do the research. That's just my opinion on it. I've been listening in. Okay, you have a team, Kaylee. Okay, you have a team. If you have a team, that's fine. Here we go again with when I say moderators, they're like, no, I have a team. That's fine. If you have a team, okay. But you have to do your own research on your own. And regarding the Faith situation, you have to, it doesn't take very long to catch on to all the lies. You can watch for a couple hours because Faith live streams quite a bit every single day. You would just have to watch a couple hours and catch her in every lie. It doesn't take very much research to see what's going on and all that. Look, I don't have nothing against Kaylee. I'm going to make this loud and clear. I don't have nothing against Kaylee. Like I said, they said that she's a nurse, and I imagine she works very, very many hours, right? But if you're going to interview somebody, at least do your own research. That's typically what I do. Like I said, I have nothing against her. But when I do my research, I do my own. I don't depend on what everybody else is telling me. I listen, I watch, and I look at different things. But I can't just run off of what people are telling me, because some of the questions that were being asked, there was already answers to. In case Kaylee missed it, the guy Mikhail, somebody who got in our box, if you would have tuned into the live stream, you don't have to. You don't have to at all. He came and got in a box. He's over from Meet Me. He said he's been over there 7 years. He said he knows Faith pretty well. And the video clips were being put out as the live stream was going on because people were clipping it. If you would have just done a little bit of research, okay, the recap is on KK's YouTube. Kaylee, they're over on YouTube. Our moderator, KK, Rissa right there, a lot of our live streams are up on her YouTube. Now, you would have heard Mikhail say that 90K was that Faith made 90,000 in a 4-month time frame. And like I said, Kaylee, I have nothing against you. I keep it respectful. it was not over a 5-year time span. It was not over a 1-year time frame. It was in a 4-month time frame. Not only did we hear about that situation, we also heard about what was being auctioned off over on Meet Me. See, it takes a little bit of research. That's all it takes. And if you would tune into her live streams, it doesn't take very long to catch on to everything that she lied about. It was pretty wild what was put out there. And not only that, we shared quite a bit of information yesterday. Research that I've done. Because, like I said, people will share videos to me. They'll share screenshots with me, but I have to go out and do my own research. Queen of Blessings, it's like a dating site, a hookup site, they say. I'm just telling, I didn't know what Meet Me was, and until people started coming in and telling me. Now, the information that was provided was pretty wild. The guy talked about the cruise that Faith went on with another young lady. It's a streaming site primarily nowadays. Yeah, I've heard several things, but the majority of the responses we got is, it was a hookup site. So I'm only sharing because I'm not on that website or that app, whatever you want to call it, and I don't want to be on that app. Yeah, you can always Google. Okay, let me grab this box. Hello.
Hi, Mexican. How are you?
Doing good. How's it going? Grab this box. Hello.
Hi, Mexican. How are you?
Doing good. How's it going?
I have a whole list of, my own information and things that were recorded and posted on TikTok about, Faith. But information and things that were recorded and posted on TikTok about, Faith. But what really caught my eye was her saying in a live one day, saying ADD and ADHD is not a disability or even a learning disability at that. And I have to disagree with that because I suffer from ADHD. I have to take that medication every morning. I literally, just me trying to focus without medication is a struggle for me. But I was told, what I found out is she has $20K on Cash App. She scammed over $100K from millions of people. Cash App. She scammed over $100K from millions of people on this app, including Meet Me and whatever other apps. But I want to know, my main question is what was that money?
Okay, I think you're listening to on another device. Okay, so here's the thing. The GoFundMe money, the $498 that was collected, she said went to Netflix, phone bill, DoorDash, stuff like that. Things that she wanted, right?
And that's totally fine with the phone bill and, paying off, like, bills and all that, but what really caught my eye from her spending the money from, like, the GoFundMe was she said it was for moving, correct?
Yes.
But in reality, she ended up buying tattoos from gifts, pretty much, is what came out of her mouth.
So essentially, you got an echo again. So essentially, what we've heard is the tattoos have been funded by her gifters and followers. That's essentially the information we got. The tattoos were funded by gifters and followers and stuff like that. But a lot of the questions is, if you're asking for money to move, because you're given the impression that you need the money to move, and then you turn around and use the money for everything else but moving. That's a big problem because, you're putting it's essentially theft by deception. That's what it is. Let's call it for what it is, because she's making people think that it's to move, and then she doesn't use the money to move. And she said it, I don't know how many times already, that she can't move out by herself.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was clipped where I was up in a box on another account because, you know, she blocked me on my other accounts, including this one that I'm on. But she was basically saying a lot of things, you know, arguing back with a bunch of people. And I was just sitting there, I was like, well, my main question is, you know, and all I got out was my main question is, and I didn't get to ask my main question because she dropped me from a box because I brought up the fact that I did research of her saying that she was faking autism.
Yeah, we've had that discussion. We have had that discussion about the whole autism thing, and because there's been posts made, she had addressed um, Robert Robert Kennedy Jr. on a post as well. I have the screenshots of that, and there was a big question about that, and we kind of discussed it. And see, here's it's hard to believe faith in what she's saying, and she uses her disability to deceive people into sending her money. And they said this was happening over on Mimi quite a bit. And one of the questions I was asked to Faith last night when she was being one of the questions I was asked to Faith last night when she was being interviewed by Kaylee was about the house. She was asked about the house, and that is something that I had a discussion with Faith when she came and got in the box yesterday. And she said that she didn't know nothing about the house being left under her name in a trust fund. I already had addressed her. I already had told her, hey, I asked her about that and how she could lose the home if they get her for tax evasion. And so she went over onto that live stream with Kaylee. The question was asked, and she goes, oh, I didn't know that. She already knew it. Once again, she lied.
There was one time, I think I have that recording, I'm not completely sure, I will have to go back and look when I get off your live, where she admits saying she had an OF.
Yes. So that was addressed. There's not, I really want to address that situation because I really have no saying or have not much to say about that.
I'm pretty sure nobody has a lot to say on that. I mean, it's very, very grimy. I mean, I've seen a lot of recordings. I got a lot of recordings sent to me. It was a whole lot of stuff. And what really ticked me off the most was just the whole ADD and ADHD not being a learning disability when I suffer it myself, and I know it's a learning disability.
Yes. And like I said, I don't have anything. I can't knock nobody's hustle as far as those type of sites, because I have not much to say about that. Like I said, I don't have nothing to say about that OF or anything like that. My main concern here, we got to keep the focus, right? The focus is the scamming. And also, I understand where you're coming from about how she says if you have ADD, ADHD is not considered a disability. There's a lot of concerns, and the way she conducts herself, but the deception, goes a long way, and the dollar amounts are wild.
That 100K is insane, and it blowed my mind just finding out what she spent it on. Now, the phone bill, I can understand that with the money, but with the GoFundMe saying help me raise money to move out was what blowed my mind the most. Because if you're gonna move, use the money to move. Don't put on GoFundMe saying help me raise money to move, and then use it for a completely different subject. Because people are going to find out. Because, I mean, from what I've seen on all her posts, she talks about everything she does.
No, and I get it. I get it. That is the biggest concern. We will address some things. I don't know when's the next time I'm going to live stream because we have some things going on. And we'll try to address as much new information as possible. But what I'm going to do is put things together. And then that way, when I'm ready to put out this information, we'll get it out there. And like I said, there's a lot of concerns. But, you know, what kind of threw me off last night, what was her mom coming in late night and telling her that young lady, and the recording is on TikTok, everybody. The recording is on TikTok where her mom comes in while she's live streaming and says that some young lady named Kaylee called the cops. Because
I will have to look for that. I was asleep, I'm guessing, when that happened. But I do have one more question.
Yes.
Is it true that she asked people for, like, their other people for their social security number to use it for, like, identity fraud?
No. So on that basis right there, it was to take out loans. One that's Nona, but they said it's a couple, and I'm not gonna say several. I'm gonna say a couple. So one that is Nona, and you know, so right now, and those are for loans, to try to get loans. So
Okay, that makes more sense because that's what I had written down on my notes. So I do have another one, and this is coming from a bisexual female. Is it true that she was laughing about homophobic slurs?
So there's a lot that's been going on over there. And we addressed this on a live stream, I think a couple live streams ago, where the N word is being dropped over there, the R word, they're being very homophobic. Yeah, so they're being very homophobic, and she allows it. She allows that type of behavior from the people that join her boxes. I'm not saying every person that goes in there in her box is doing it. No, there's only been a number of individuals that have done it, and for anybody to allow that type of behavior, you know, you would drop them immediately and block them and call them out on it. And it's crazy. It is very crazy. So hopefully that answered your questions. And I hope you have a blessed day. Stay tuned in.
And thank you for taking the time to actually answer my questions, because I did have a handful, and some people did answer them. But the more this stuff, you know, happened, the more questions came up, and I was just like, well, I mean, Mexican's live. Maybe he can answer a few of them.
I tried my best, and like I said, if you want recaps of what's happened if you missed it, go to KK Rissa on YouTube. She's one of our moderators on here, and you could catch the recaps over there.
Yes, that's actually where I got some of the recordings sent to me. Most of them were on TikTok that were sent to me, though. But I do appreciate your time, you know, talking to me and answering my questions.
You're welcome. You have a blessed day.
You too.
Thank you. Yeah, KK Rissa right here, our moderator. Let me pin her comment. Her YouTube link is in her bio, and you could catch the recaps, or if you missed it, go to her YouTube, and you could catch whatever you missed. The majority of the time, KK puts all the live streams on there. So if you missed it, go over to KK Rissa 21, the YouTube channel, and that's where you can find the recaps. Other than that, everybody, I got to get out of here. I got things I got to go do. And I just wanted to address some of this craziness going on. And I hope everybody has a blessed day. I don't know when I'm going to do the next live stream, but I'm going to get out of here. Have a blessed day. And here is my outro. Be careful out there on these crazy TikTok streets.
Su puta madre. A mí si me mandan los humanos les hago un cagadero caliente. Aquí no están velada, yo ando y cuido a los jefes. La paciencia no es lo mío, yo le rezo al diablo y también a la muerte. Nomás unos cuantos saben, a mí me gusta la cerveza caliente. Me gustan los carros de velocidad, la neta no hay dos como el Shelby. A la orden de archivado maneamos todo el que se ponga renuente. Sin tener que ir a volar mi piloto, yo baby por las nubes siempre. Cuando ando en la calle cargo equipo y a mi compadre chambeando al frente. Si no quieren no, si no quieren no, pónganse bien verga, si ando en el sector. El pelo largo y con un reloj de diamantes finos, si no quieren no. Échale con panetón, que su puta madre. Si no quieren no, dale la greña, dale la greña. Con la sangre fría, los nervios al tiro y fumando mi mata gente. Ahí me ven en la capi, siempre bien pendiente. Botado en la laminada para que los tiros pura verga no se entren. Puro comanche bravo, no la piensan dos veces. Y para mencionar, siempre anda el millón. Una güera y una prieta, no la jueguen mucho que sacó el dragón. Si no es de uva, que sea de cajón, pero que sea lavada. Si no quieren no, si no quieren no, si no quieren no, nos ven en vergüenza por el sin control. El pelo largo y en un llenón, trae los vidrios duros y adentro un tono.
Have a good day, everybody. I'm getting out of here.